Whether you're into 3D printing as a hobby or whether you're doing it as a business, you need some solid tools to help you get through it. And I'm here to help you find the best bang for the buck over at Harbor Freight. They've really come up in the last 10 years and really improved all the stuff they have. And they've got some fantastic tools to help you on your 3D printed journey. So let's go through the top 10 tools plus some bonuses. Plus the first one I'm going to tell you is the one to avoid, and that is hex keys. The hex keys at Harbor Freight, I'm sorry, they're terrible. They fall apart is what happens. The case on the little bolt works its way out, and eventually you're looking at a pile of little hex keys on the floor and you're trying to put it. Just avoid these. They're a pain. They're not worth the money at all. Get yourself the basic Pittsburgh set. This is going to get you all the SE, all the metric, T-handle, ball end, comfort grip, rack, the whole 9 yards for $19. And that's not even on sale. I mean, right now, I think this weekend, if you're watching it this weekend, this is Sunday until end of day today. If you're a Inside Track member, you're going to get, was it 20, 30% off on these? That's a ridiculous deal for these. But if you're looking for something more high-end, if you want some real comfort grip, something you can trust that's going to last, you can step up and get the Icon set. This is the professional high-torque T-handle hex key set, 8-piece right here, all right? And they're not cheap. They're coming in at $40. But if you want that look and feel and you like the color coding and whatnot, and it even comes with a nice plastic tray to insert it with. Of course, we're all eventually going to print better trays than this because these don't last in the long run. But they're good to get started with, right? At least you have something out of the gate. All right, then screwdrivers are the next thing. The Doyle cushion grip. This is your basic acetate handle, the classic with the rubber overmold. You're getting your slotted, often called flathead, and then the Phillips with it. And you're getting 3 different sizes. This is a good basic set of screwdrivers that's going to last you for as long as you're going to need them. All right. Now, if you need some precision sets, this is a great one here from Quinn. Quinn is their Goldilocks, their middle of the road line. Harbor Freight does this good, better, best. Pittsburgh's at the bottom, Quinn's in the middle, Doyle and Icon, stuff like that are up top. This is a great, just average, Joe kind of precision set of screwdrivers. It's going to have a bunch of different types of heads on it. It's got the tool roll up to keep it all nice and tidy. You throw it in a drawer, pull it out when you need it. Right now it's for $15. If you're Inside Track, it's under $10. It's $9. That's a great deal. All right, let's keep going here. We got the Central Forge Precision Needle File Set. Come on, you've had an inside or a corner that isn't quite as crisp as you want on one of your prints. This is the one that you're going to be able to get in there and really smooth it out and make it look like the finished print you want it to look like. And for $5, not even on sale, $5, this is going to be a great set for you, all right? Next up, we've got the Doyle Precision Pliers 3-piece set. Doyle is one of their better brands there. I have a ton of the Doyle stuff, but I don't have this set precisely, but I have the exact same set from another company called WorkPro, and they're nearly identical. This is the 2 of the WorkPro, the third one's over there, but you get a set of cutters, then you get a set of these super needle nose, and then you get a set of these stubby needle nose. Let me get my hand behind it so it's focusing on this. But they're stubby needle nose plus cutters, and I use these all the time for on spools when I get a spool and I have to then my fingers are too big. I can't reach in there and get the filament on the new spools. So I get this, it grabs the filament, then I can cut the filament. They're great all around tools here. The 3-piece set coming in at $12. That's a solid deal. And these are tools you will probably use like every day with your 3D printer. That's kind of in that must-have category. All right, next up, the long nose slip joint. Now, these are a mechanics tool made famous by Snap-on, and Harbor Freight came out with an affordable copy that we can all be happy with, and that's this tool right here. This thing is, you're like, why do I need a set of mechanics pliers? They have a secret to them. Now, they always advertise them as they can pick up a penny or a nickel or something because the end is so precise, it can grab that little ridge, but that's not what you use them for. Now, if I had a print around here, I would show you. But the end of this is this kind of flat bit, and it really comes together really well. And what that does is on supports, is I can get in there and I can grab the very edge of the support and I can line that up right with the edge of the print, and I can get in there and I can clamp it and I can just snap that support off right in line with my part. These I use every day. Every day. They're fantastic. They feel like overkill, but that precision to get in there and get that right at that crisp line of that support is what these are for. And you'll be happy you have them. All right. They're coming in at $30. We've got the flush cut pliers from Icon. They're meant specifically for soft plastic. They will give you a clear and precise cut every single time. They're really designed, honestly, for zip ties. And if they can cut zip ties every day, all day long, they'll cut filament without a problem, and they will give you a good clean line, flush right up to where you need it. They come in at $32.99. Then we've got the Doyle tweezers. Now I know these look like needle nose pliers, stuff like that, but they're more of a tweezer kind of tool. They're coming in, they're 5-inch. They're really well made, coming in at $8 on that one. Then we've got the pistol grip. Now this is another one. I don't have this set precisely. I've got the set from Easy Red, but this is what a pistol grip set of pliers is. And what's great about these, especially when you're working on hot ends and print heads and stuff like that, because you can't really just grab the whole unit and take it out. You got to work on it inside. And so you're having to reach in there. And if you're a bigger guy like me, with big hands, big arms, trying to get in there, it can be difficult. And with a regular set of pliers, because it's all the way at the top, when you're trying to get in there, it can be hard to get up under there and in where you need to get. And that's the problem with the pliers like this, is you're locked in at that parallel kind of gripping angle. These, you come in like this. So now you can come in, angle up, and you have your full gripping strength right there. You can get that little bugger, grab it and pull it out. And that's what these are fantastic for. Once you've used a set of pistol grip, or these are called kiwi grip, because I guess they kind of look like that kiwi bird. Anyway, once you've used a set of these, you understand why you need them. Is this something you need every day? No, but this is definitely in that good to have. Like once you have these, you're not going back to not having them. There are always cases where you're going to use your regular pliers. They're not a case where you only need one or only need the other, all right? These come in at $22. Then we've got the Gordon Precision, aka the old school X-Acto knife set. We all know what this is for. Just a great, again, classic handle on it. You've got the metal handle as well. You've got all the little knife bits in there in a nice little simple case, coming in for $5. Again, another no-brainer. The Icon, the pick and hook set. Now, here's what I'm going to say about this set here, is that everyone talks about like the dental picks and stuff like this, and this is an automotive mini pick. These things are fantastic. They give you really precise control because of this tri-lobe style handle. Let you get in there, and you can actually, and there's good grippiness to the rubber, so you can get in there with that hook. And it comes with 4 different styles of the hook. And this one's got like kind of a spiral hook in. You can get in there, come in and grab it and pull it out. You will, again, this is one of these you must have. Even if you don't get the Icon, there's cheaper versions out there, and you can stick with the dental kind of stuff if you want. But if you really want a good quality tool you're going to use daily, this is the set to get. Again, it comes with a plastic tray. We print our own trays. If you go to dentatools.com, you can see the pick and hook trays we use. We also use the Tecton set as well. But as you can see, this is the set that lives right next to my 3D printers. I keep my Tecton set for everything else, but for my 3D printers, it's the Icon set. All right, let's keep going. These are $20. Next up, the Bauer 4-volt 1/4-inch screwdriver with integrated flashlight and insert bits. So there's a flashlight, and it's hard to see, but in the handle, there's a flashlight down here. And if I'm not mistaken, this whole thing spins, become a regular style electric screwdriver or the pistol grip style screwdriver. Just a great use. You don't need that much torque. I've got all the power tools you can imagine. I've got all the power tools you can imagine. But when it comes to your 3D printer, you don't need a 20-volt ultra torque, screwdriver kind of thing, or drill or whatever. You definitely don't need an impact. Something like this it's small, it's easy, you can get in there, you can flip it around, use the flashlight, see what's going on. There's also a light on the front, so when you're screw driving it in, you can actually see what's going on. For under $20, it's actually a fairly good value on that one. Next up, we've got the Warrior Hot Knife, a 130-watt hot knife. Now, back in the day, me and my buddies used to take those X-Acto knives, and we'd do modeling with, you ever heard of Warhammer 40K? And we would sit there with a candle and hold the X-Acto over the the candle and then slice that. No, you don't have to do that anymore. You just plug in a hot knife and it does it all for you. If you need to do modifications and that kind of stuff, or even cleaning up edges and whatnot, hot knife is where it's at. $30 on that one. Okay, let's keep going. The Bauer heat gun. I was super iffy. Now, clear it up, 40 bucks. Cordless, now it's tool only. You got to get a battery and charger. So 40 bucks is just for the tool. I was super iffy on cordless heat guns in general, not just the Bauer in general, because I'm like, they can't put out enough heat, stuff like that. Here's the deal. Actually, it's a benefit because they don't heat up as fast. They don't get as hot. You don't just turn things into slag with them. You can really control and finesse with this. You just press this little button here, pull the trigger, and it takes a minute. And like right here, it's like, it's not too bad. And it's going to take a while to heat up. It's kind of like a mini hairdryer, let's be honest, but it doesn't have that same kind of power where it's uncomfortable now. Okay, that's a little hot. It doesn't have that kind of power, and it's going to run after you let go to cool it back down. But it doesn't have that kind of power where it's going to overdo it. And I've found that I can use it taking off decals on cars and stuff like where you can really finesse it and get just the thing you want. In fact, if you saw my video on dealing with the blob of death, this is the thing that saved my bacon on the blob of death because I could heat it up enough and where I wanted without having to slag my whole hot end. And there's little bits that comes with it you can put on to get it more directional and stuff, really get it in there. There's little curved ones so you can put the piece in there and it will... Anyway, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I'm a big fan of these now. But again, and they have them in the Bauer and in the Hercules line, depending on which way you decide to go. But the cordless heat gun, I was really surprised how good they really are, and especially in the 3D printing realm. Don't have to deal with overdoing it and stuff like that. You can still do it if you try, but it makes it so you have better control. All right, then we've got the Warrior Detail Sander. This thing is a great little budget sander at 20 bucks. Inside Track Sale has it at $10. Come on, $10, and you got a nice mouse style detail sander. And then we've got the Central Machinery 1x30-inch belt and disc sander. This is one I don't see a lot of people in 3D printing using, but it's got a disc sander and it's got a belt sander. If you need a good flat edge and you need to like cut it in the edge or smooth it across, this is the piece to get. You can get a solid right angle off the plate on this. I don't know why more people aren't jumping on these things. I guess maybe they just don't know tools the way we do. But on sale Inside Track for $58.49, 70 bucks if you're not an Inside Track. By the way, I should also disclose, I am not paid by Harbor Freight, never been paid by them, but they have sent me a lot of tools, toolboxes and other tools. I've worked with Harbor Freight on my other channel for years. Great people. Again, never sponsored by them, but get sent free tools by them. I get sent free tools by everyone. And we got some Milwaukee over here. We got some DeWalt up there. We got all sorts of free tools. So, that's the way we try to keep it even, as anybody can send tools. We'll take a look at them. All right, let's keep going. Next one up is, and this is a great little tool a lot of people don't understand. The band file belt sander, often called a finger sander. This one's electric. It plugs in. It's basically a grinder body with this little tiny belt sander of a finger on the end of it, and it can pivot in all these different directions. And this is more of an auto body kind of tool. But if you've got a print with some detailed edges and stuff that are hard to get to, and you don't want to sit there for hours sanding it with by hand, this is the one to go to town with. Again, be careful with it because it will take stuff off pretty quickly. All right, next up, a different kind of detail work. We've got the rotary tool, aka the Dremel. This is the basic Bauer corded Dremel. Just a good solid budget tool. It's 40 bucks, $30 if you're Inside Track. Remember, the number one rule of Harbor Freight is you don't shop without a coupon. And Inside Track is the easy way into always getting your coupons. So you join for a membership for a year, or better yet, you sign up in store, you sign up for 2 years, and you get a discounted price. So if you do sign up, definitely recommend signing up in store. And anyway, it's a good classic one, but this is the one I recommend. I have it, and Harbor Freight did send it to me. It's a knockoff of the Ryobi and the Hart version, but basically it uses the same battery that this uses, and it plugs into the base. And now you've got a portable rotary tool station that goes with you everywhere. It's got a little compartment that holds all the accessories. And now instead of having to hold the whole tool in your hand, you have the wand that comes out. Now you can just hold the wand. You can get really up in there with some real detail kind of work. I use it for doing my dog's toenails mostly, but it's also great for 3D prints and finishing them off and getting that kind of detail stuff cleaned up. A lot of times you put the ball end on it. It's good for going in there and cleaning up any kind of embossing or engraving you put in there on the piece. Next up, you got to clean up. And I see so many videos with guys with 30 3D printers, and it just drives me up a wall. Once a week, I go through all my printers and I vacuum them out. And I have a little Fantic vac, and the Fantic honestly costs as much as this thing. It's a great little vacuum. Fantic sent it to me. So, and I get most people, this is a more round use. So it uses a Hercules battery, or you can plug it in, either or. So you can buy it and never buy the Hercules battery and just use it as a corded shop vac. And that's the thing. It's wet dry. You got some spills, you spill some alcohol or something or some other kind of cleaners, you can suck it up with this. You can suck up dry goods with it. You can plug it in. You can use a battery. You can use it to detail your car. Then take it back into your print shop and clean out all your printers. But people, please clean your printers, all right? That's disgusting. I don't want to see all that in there. All right, next one we're going to see here is the Yukon Workbench with Light. This is one that I slept on for a long time, and that is my fault because I would look at the ones in store and they always seemed super rickety. And that's just because the person putting it together didn't care, and people come by and they'd shake it to see how sturdy it is, and every person who shook it made it worse, and no one would go back in and tighten it up. If you put it together yourself, you take the time, there's a lot of little fiddly bits and screws, but once you get it together, then give it like a month of using it, go back and tighten up all the loose parts. It's a rock solid bench. Now, I've often recommended it as an electronics bench. Now, I would not probably put my 3D printer on it because it's kind of lightweight. And I think the whole thing, like if you had H2D, the world would be a rocking on this thing. You know, and if you have an H2D, you know what I mean. That sucker moves. You could run a smaller 3D printer on it, but really what I see about this is your workbench for your 3D printer room, whether it's in a garage or a shop or in a bedroom or something like this. This is a great workbench for working on all your stuff. It's got the surface on this is a laminated MDF. So it's firm, it's weighted, it's smooth, and it's really great for working with electronics and pieces like that. There's a light built in up there. I did a video way back, you can check on my other channel, where I even showed a modification to put a bigger, brighter light in this thing if you want to do this. Plus, you've got the pegboard for hanging all your tools. You can put other stuff underneath for accessories. You got 2 drawers to store some tools. You got stuff on the side you can use as well. It's a great tool bench, and then when it goes on sale, it's like $100. It's just under $100, or you can get a coupon or something. That is a great workbench to have. All right, and then if you've seen my shop, I use these, and yeah, it's overkill. This is definitely that you don't need it. You might even want it. It's that kind of luxury kind of thing. I've got, and I'll try to put it on screen here. I've got a 56-inch that holds 3 P1S from Bamboo Labs. And it has the 3 of those plus the poop chute on the side, and they fit perfectly, and they run night and day on that. And then I got all the storage underneath, and they're rock solid, and it's just a great work surface. And then on top of that, and that's a 56-inch, they also make, I have the smaller cousin here, the 27-inch. Now, I was using this. Now, I get them all in white because I like it brightens up the room and stuff like that, and it also matches my trucks. Anyway, I had one of these set up as my accessory table. Like when I pull plates, I put it on here because it's got a nice hard rubber mat on it. I put it on here, take my cleaning tool and some alcohol and wipe down all my plates and clear them, do all that. It was a great little work surface for that. But I have since moved my H2D, and it lives on this workbench because it just dominates anything you put on. I had it on my desk that I have over there, along with my other printer, and I didn't have any room left. H2D, it dominates wherever you put it. It's such a big unit. So I just put it on this. And at first I was like, well, $400 is kind of pricey for just a printer stand. But Panda, whatever they're called, and they did actually reach out to me. So no hate on them, but they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, can we send you something?" And it turned out they didn't have stock, so they couldn't send one. But their cart, which is just a basic little sheet metal cart, is $400. I can get an actual like tank of a workbench cart, like a true mechanics work cart, for the same price with a lot more drawers and storage and whatnot for that price, and I can get it in all the Skittles like colors. You got yellow, you got red, you got blue, you got green, you got gray. Don't eat the gray Skittles; those have gone bad. Probably not Skittles, actually. Anyway, but by the way, this gray looks fabulous in person. But the real ones, we go with the Imperial Stormtrooper colors, right? All right, let's keep going here. And then the Yukon 5-tier shelf. I have a set of plastic shelves just like, I don't know if you can see it here from this. Let me pan over here if you can see them. They're right past the edge of the monitor. Right, that's it right there. And I store a bunch of filament on it. And it screams for mercy because I've got, probably 120 rolls of filament on there. But it's holding them. It sags a little bit. It does. I mean, it's a cheap plastic shelf, but it does hold it. They're rated for 150 pounds per shelf. They're good for storing, for cheap storage and stuff like that. Now, if you want to upgrade a little bit, we've got the 5-tier 48-inch by 24 by 78 for $140. Now, this is more of a heavy duty. It's got the wire racks with the wire mesh on it, and you could adjust this. And I checked it out and did measurements, and I could mount easily 4 P1S with the AMS on top. I could have the bottom shelf, then I could have a lower rack with a P1S, an upper rack with a PMS. I would not be able to have the top shelf. That would have to be open. But you could mount them on this. So if you're looking for a mounting system, that's 4 printers in an area 48 inches wide. It's not bad as far as use of space goes. Then talk about use of space. We got storage. Let's be honest. In this hobby/business, there's a lot of little parts. Having quick access to them is a great way to go. Now, this is a big piece, 74 bin mobile store. It sits on the ground. It's a rolling stand. It's not small, but it has a lot of storage. There's a desktop version that's $120. And then they also have a wall mount version. This is what I think most people will go with. And that's $20 right there. Also, these bins are stackable. So even if you don't wall mount them, you can stack them on your workbench and stuff like that. Then we've also got the portable storage, aka the old school kind of tackle box, if you would. You got 4 parts trays plus the top there. It's coming in for $15 with inside track. And then the classic Storehouse 20 bin parts case. And of course, it's as modular as you want to make it. You got a 3D printer, you do what you want with it. It's $10. Now, as you're working on stuff, especially when you're doing your weekly, monthly maintenance, or whether you're doing repairs, as you take parts out, you want to put those parts someplace where you can find them and put them back in. These silicone trays are absolutely fantastic for it. There's a part for tools, there's a part for the pieces, there's all sorts of organization and stuff. And so like if you have multiple different types of screws, there's a little bin for each one. You can put it in and it kind of conforms to the surface in case you're working on an irregular surface. So then you have that. This is a great way to go. I definitely recommend these, all right? Next up, a scale. If you're in this for the business and you're shipping, come on. It's the Syntec 110-pound digital scale. They have cheaper ones, but I like these because I'm sometimes shipping bigger boxes where if the LCD is attached, you can't see it. This has it on the cord, so it sits further out, and you can put the screen wherever you want, and you can put those giant boxes on there so you can see what they weigh before you ship them, go through your Shopify store and whatnot. This is a great option here, $42.99. And then we have, we got to put those hot inserts in, or those metal inserts, threaded inserts. That's the word I'm looking for. We got the soldering iron, 5 to 50 watts. So you can dial in exactly the power you need. It's got the cradle for the soldering iron. It's got everything you need. It's coming in at $48. It's good quality. You can do it with cheaper ones. You can do it all day long. But if you want something that's got a little bit better quality, here you go at $48. All right, and then we all know you need the caliper, the classic caliper here, to measure your parts. And I've got one of these. I've got several of them. There's some here in my studio. There's some down at the shop. I got some at home. I mean, it's caliper. You know what this is for. If you're making your own parts, and you should be designing your own parts. If you really want to be successful in the hobby or the business, you got to be designing your own parts. Even if you're doing it, basic wise, like using Tinkercad like me, you can still really make some fantastic stuff. But you're going to need, no matter what you're doing, you're going to need a digital caliper. I guess you can use an analog caliper. Get a digital caliper. It's easy. Just do it. It's $35, not even on sale. And then power strip, you need power. That's the one thing we're always fighting for, more power, right? Well, here's a power strip. You got 4 regular ports. You got one separated. That's if you got one with the big wall wart on it, you can plug that in there. You got 2 USB ports. And it's got a cord wrap built in. And then the back side of it, on top of that, the back side is magnetic. So you can stick it up somewhere and it could adhere to like the side of your 3D or the back of your 3D printer or something like that, or your toolbox or whatever you're using it with. And now you can organize everything, have power. And it's a really reliable power strip. It's been used by people for dozens of years at this point. And, well, not dozens. That's only been out like maybe 10 years. For a decade. How about that? $34 on that one. And it comes in all the colors you want as well. Then we've got, a lot of people don't realize this. If you're looking for hardware to go with your parts and stuff, Harbor Freight has all these little hardware kits that come with assortments of different parts. We got nuts, we got lock nuts, we got metric, we got standard, we've got all the different bolts and clips and O-rings and everything you're possibly going to need. They've got all of that there, and it's all like $6 to $7, $8, $10, and on sale they're under $4.29. $4.20. You should anytime you go to Harbor Freight, you should be looking at these, find out which ones are on sale, and grab them because they're super cheap at that price. All right, now when you're in there and you're working on your 3D printer, even with the ones that have good lighting, you always need better lighting, right? Especially if you're getting older. And then you got to get yourself a good flashlight. This is the one I recommend. This is the Icon 800 lumen LED rechargeable magnetic handheld foldable slim bar. Anyway, it's mechanics work light. I love these things. All right, now I did the mod to mine where you take it and you flip this light bar around. So, and I like it because that way when I close it, it protects the main light. But and I'm not gonna blind you with this, but you've got the main light here, you've got a secondary light here, and then you got a little flashlight on the end. And the whole thing's magnetic. So you can stick it to, like, if you're in like my Centauri Carbon that's got, metal plates on the side, I could stick it in there, aim it right up at the print head if I need to work on it and stuff like that. This is a go-to light. There, you can see the light on there. We've got light 1, 2, there's 3, and then, so 2 settings on both of those, and then, I think I dropped it and broke the end. Anyway, just a really great work light. Don't drop it on the end. And that probably only happened because I did take the whole thing apart to redo it. So it's probably just a loose cable in there. That's probably on me. Anyway, fantastic light. And of course, Harbor Freight has a good warranty on these. Now, I think they're only 90 days on the Icon ones. Let's go here. Most of these parts are going to have a 90-day warranty. Some will have, the hand tools have a lifetime warranty. But this one, here we go, warranty information, 90 days. But as I said, all the hand tools, stuff like that, have a lifetime warranty. We go to these, and we come down to warranty information, and it's lifetime warranty on that. So, if you don't screw with them, you'll be fine. And you can buy the extended warranty if you think you're going to need it. Now, the last one, this is really kind of a bonus item that I want to add, is the backhoe. And I don't really have a justification as to why you need it for 3D printing. And I'm hoping you're going to help me with this because I'm trying to convince the wife I need a backhoe. So if you could put a comment down below how I can justify 3D printing and a backhoe, you let me know. Other than that, be sure to remember Harbor Freight when it comes time to buy the tools that you need. There's other tools out there. I'm not saying just shop Harbor Freight. There's lots of great tools. You can buy stuff on Amazon. I showed you a bunch of tools that I have. They're not from Harbor Freight as well. But they do have some of the best bang for the buck. Anyway, if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.